welcome back to your mat. My name is Anna, the Holy Banana, the Holy Yogi. Today I have a candlelit, simple sandbag restorative flow for you. It should be very relaxing. Sandbags mimic deep therapeutic touch for us in our practice when we use them in the restorative side. So that is what we will be doing today. I have just a few poses. It won't be a very long practice, but this is to allow you to get to know how to use them in the gentle way on your mat. All you'll need is 2 blocks and 2 sandbags. If you don't have sandbags, definitely check the link in my description here. You can order them right from my website. They'll come empty because shipping heavy sandbags is a lot, but you'll just need to fill them with some sand and you'll have them right there for your practice. So if that is not something that you have today, use something with a little bit of weight to it that is comfortably propped around your body, but definitely get some for your practice because they are very versatile. So we'll start in a seat in just a moment. I'll see you there. Seat, root down underneath the sits bones. We're just going to be here for a moment to connect with our breath, connect mind and body, close off the eyes, stack the shoulders over the hips, crown of the head pulls tall towards the ceiling. I want you to acknowledge why you came to your mat today. Take a deep breath, inhale, seal that intention, and exhale, release anything that is detracting from it. 2 more like that. Inhale, seal it in. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Make it your goal to find 1% improvement on your mat today, whether it's in mind or body. Our first pose, we're going to rock over our hands and knees and come into a child pose. We'll need 1 sandbag for this. So I'm going to show you in these classes where we don't really have a second person to help place those sandbags, which I would normally do in a restorative class like this in studio. But since we don't have someone there for you, maybe you're just practicing alone in your home, I'm going to show you poses that you can easily get into with these sandbags without extra help. So you're going to be kneeling here. You're going to untuck those toes, knees wide, feet together, and bring that sandbag around the back. Now I want you to use the sandbag to push your spine long as you lift up and out of the hips and fold forward. Now you're going to feel it rest on that small of the back, kind of like setting a book on a bookshelf. It's going to be nice and stacked there. Once you get low to the ground, that sandbag is nice and sturdy. Extend those arms forward. Forehead down. And release into this child's pose. The weight of the sandbag is going to help encourage the hips back as we rest here for a number of breaths. With every exhale, release a little bit more underneath the weight of that sandbag. Relax the face. Few more breaths here. Knowing that you can always pause the video and stay longer, making this practice your own. You can always repeat it as well, coming through each pose a second time. without slingshotting up into a table. I want you to slowly walk those hands underneath the shoulders. Gently lift the weight out of those hips, coming up and over into a table. This sandbag is actually just going to stay right where it is. If it falls off, we can replace it. But you're going to walk these hands forward. Keep those knees wide and bring those hips down onto the floor, tummy down, knees out, feet together into a Supta Baddha Konasana, but on our tummy. So a reclined diamond pose here. We have our knees out, soles of the feet together, and the weight of that sandbag is reminding us that we want to root down underneath the pelvis. Maybe you want to move that sandbag a little bit lower, and maybe you even bring the second sandbag on top of the back as well, if you can comfortably get it there. So we want this root to be nice and sturdy underneath the sits bones, the tailbone. And then the soles of the feet are together, and you're encouraging those feet down towards the floor as well. So you're feeling this opening in the hips with external rotation. Let's take those hands underneath the forehead and breathe here for a number of breaths. The longer we stay in a pose like this, the more release we're going to feel over time. So again, always feel free to stay longer, pause the video, and restart it when you're ready to move on. Or repeat the video a second time. I'm going to take a few more breaths here. Start transitioning out of this pose is extending those knees long so the feet come out, and then we can take these sandbags off to one side or the other. Don't worry about the thud, they'll naturally happen as we take sandbags off from pose to pose. Bring those legs long together and feel those hips neutralize, sway left and right. And then press yourself up and back. Let's bring these legs forward. We're going to come into a seated tree. So we're going to take that left foot into the right thigh. That right leg is off to the side. I want you to square yourself to that right foot with the shoulders and the hips. And we're going to bring one sandbag to the left thigh. So I'm going to start the sandbag on the inside of my thigh. And then as I place it, I'm going to pull it to the left just slightly along my thigh to help with that external rotation. So I'm trying to get the weight of that bag to encourage my leg opening rather than just sitting on top of it. So place that sandbag. Then we might need one or two blocks here. I'll just use one on the inside of my leg. I might even need a lower setting. I'll see as I bend over. But the other sandbag, I want you to reach long in the spine, lead with the chest first, then bring that sandbag up and over to the upper of your back. So it's not entirely on your neck, it's the upper of your back, just on the crest of your shoulders. You're gonna pull yourself forward with the tension in that bag, and then let that chest release down, bringing the forehead, maybe I do need a little higher setting here, bringing the forehead down to a block or two. So take your time getting there. There's absolutely no rush getting into these poses, especially when we have sandbags on our bodies. We want to move very mindfully so as not to create injury. So we're feeling a release in the back of this right leg, maybe even the left low back, the QL. Keep that right quad gently engaged so that we're not just passively pulling on the knee. And release into this. If you feel like you're not getting a whole lot of stretch once you settle in because the sandbag is pushing you down but the block is holding you up, feel free to lower the block as you go. A few more breaths on this side. Before starting to come up, I want you to bring the hands to that bag on the back. Engage the core. Gently bring yourself up. And take that bag out in front of you as we switch over to the other side. So we're going to take that right foot into the inner left thigh. Turn the shoulders and hips to square that foot. And then take this sandbag to the inside of the right thigh. Again, as you place it, encourage that right leg to rotate out. And then take this block and sandbag to the other side. Let's stack the sandbag on the crest of the upper back. Use that to pull yourself tall and forward. Lead with the chest and fold over that left leg. Bring the forehead down to the block. Maybe starting with the highest setting and settling in as you deepen with your exhales. Listen to your body, it will tell you what you need. Take a few more deep breaths. Gently take those hands to that bag on the back, come all the way up, and release those bags off to the side. Good. We have one more pose we're going to take together here. We're going to bring ourselves all the way down, and just like we took a Supta Baddha Konasana on our tummy, we're going to do the same thing on our back. I'm actually going to give you two options for placing these bags. So you can either place them on the inner thighs, and same thing, kind of rotate those legs out and then come down onto your back like so. And so those sandbags are helping to open out your hips. Now, if laying in Supta Baddha Konasana is already super intense for you, leave those sandbags off of the legs and you can take them to the low tummy and possibly the forehead. A nice little weight on the forehead for some deep therapeutic release in the skull, those cranial muscles. So take whichever variation of the sandbags you would like. I'm going to take them back to those thighs just because it feels so good to release that rotation in my hips. But listen to your body, take what it wants. And we're going to rest here for a number of breaths. A few more breaths wherever you have those sandbags. And then wherever they are, just slide them off to the side and let those legs go long coming into our Shavasana. It's always important to take some form of Shavasana to download our practice, allow our body to digest it, integrate it. Take a moment here to scan the body, noticing the biggest differences that you're feeling. Reach those arms up overhead, feet long. Take a full body stretch. And sit yourself right up, coming into an easy seat. Shoulders stack over those hips. And crown of the head stacks over the spine. Drop that chin to the chest, take a head circle around. Notice how that neck feels. I often find that neck is connected to tension in the rest of the body. Go the other direction. Take stock. And then bring that chin to the chest. Inhale, lift that head, reach those arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center, thumbs brush that heart. A reminder that this practice is with you wherever you go, with or without props, with or without instruction. This is something you carry with you. Let's take a deep inhale. And exhale, take a little bow towards yourself and each other. Thank you so much for helping me create this class today. And I encourage you to go back through it a second time. Maybe this was just a really quick time that you had to pause during your day and find some relaxation. But feel free to stay in these poses as long as your body needs. The longer we can stay in them, the more our body is going to release under the weight. So thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more classes like this, I have a number of classes in my online membership. You'll see the info down here in the link description. If you are watching this from my membership, thank you for being here. And also check out my YouTube channel where I share free classes every other week. So some free content for you to access for you and your relaxation and your practice at home. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Namaste.